If you like Indian pizza, then don't forget to watch this video till the end. In today's video, we're going to be making this delicious white sauce paneer pizza. Well, let's get started making this pizza. To make our pizza dough, I got 3 cups of flour here for 3 personal pizzas. In this flour, we're going to be adding some salt. Don't be afraid to use lots of it because it'll give your pizza dough a lot of flavor. Yep, and then what you're going to do is you're going to mix this with one finger, probably even your whole hand. So make sure you get all the salt incorporated in here. Once you're done incorporating your salt, you're going to slowly add yogurt in here. Yogurt will help and soften the dough since we're not adding any yeast, baking soda, or any of those leaveners. Yogurt is a very cheap leavener you can use, so that's how much yogurt you need. And then you're going to go in with your hands and mix this into a sticky dough. Don't be afraid if it's sticky. You need it sticky so that your dough will become very soft. Make sure you knead this into a very soft and sticky dough. So now I've incorporated the yogurt in here. As you can see, it's kind of moldy like this. So now we're going to be adding our warm water as required. Don't add all of it at once. It's going to turn into a watery mess. Then you're going to mix this in, making sure it will turn into a nice ball. And don't worry if it sticks in the beginning. It'll soon become non-stick. If you add just the right enough water, then you can easily roll it out without it sticking onto your hands. So it's okay if it's like this at the beginning. Then you repeat that exact same technique until your dough forms into a ball. So this is what your dough should look like after you combined it. As you can see, it's like very soft. I'll show you. So you see it's like that soft. So now to finish it off, we're going to be adding olive oil to the bottom of the container. That's enough olive oil. And then we're going to rub our dough so that it doesn't stick while it's rising for an hour or even more. So we just rub it all around. Make sure rub it on the walls because the dough can rise and stick to the walls. Now we're going to shape it into a ball. We tuck this in. We're going to fold it outward like this. Make sure flatten the top. So this is what it should look like. And here's how the ball should look like. Now we're going to be adding a wet cloth over it. You can use cling wrap, but here I have a wet cloth. We're going to let this rise for at least 1 hour. Always rise at least for 1 hour because it improves the flavor in the dough. In this meantime, we're going to be making our sauce. To make our sauce, I've heated a large pan, and in this I'm going to add a bowl of butter. So we're going to let this butter melt. Now the butter is completely melted, we're going to add a bowl of flour. And we're going to completely combine this all together. And make sure it is completely cooked out, otherwise you're going to get a pasty taste in your final sauce. Make sure you cook this out. Now that the butter and the flour are completely combined, we're going to add our cold milk. Make sure the milk is cold so that the sauce doesn't work too quickly. And this is where you use your whisk. You gotta vigorously combine it, like shown here. Gotta vigorously combine it. As you can see, it's starting to thicken up. This is what you should ideally get. As you can see, it's not a little bit too viscous. We're gonna add more milk. And then you're going to continue stirring it like this. And then you keep repeating this process until you get the desired consistency. Now I've added my milk. As you can see, it's very silky like this, as you can see. Now it's time to add our cheese. I'm using sharp cheddar cheese. You can use any type of cheddar cheese you want. Just make sure you add cheddar cheese. Once you add your cheese, whisk this all in. So, yeah, whisk it all in. So now that I combined my cheese, your sauce should be of great consistency. For me, it's this. As you can see, it's viscous enough that it's pretty much eatable, but it's also thin enough that it can be applied onto pizzas. So now we're gonna do the final seasonings. So we're gonna add some salt. Don't add too much because cheddar cheese already has a lot of salt inside of it. And then we're gonna add some pepper. Now you can add a lot of pepper. Then you're gonna whisk it all in. And this is how your final sauce should look like. Let's get it going. We can now make our final pizzas. Before we start making our final pizzas, we're gonna preheat our oven. So I'm gonna put bake. I'm gonna set this to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Now the oven will start preheating. There it is, it starts preheating. Meanwhile, we're gonna start making our final pizzas. To start making our final pizzas, we're gonna oil our pan. So a little bit of olive oil. Just that much. And we're gonna rub the entire pan, including the side wall. Oil, we're gonna put our dough ball in here. I partitioned this into 3 balls, and now this is like one of the dough. So we're just gonna spread this until it covers the entire pan. And make sure there's no unevenness around your pizza. It should be completely even so that the crust cooks evenly and it'll taste good. So now I shaped the pizza, it's time to add our sauce on top of it. So we're just going to rub our sauce. And we're going to do the same thing with the other 3 pizzas. Now I applied the sauce, and now I'm going to apply the cheese and my toppings. Now that I made 1 pizza, now I'm going to make my other 2 pizzas. Now that I finished making the pizzas and the oven's finished preheating, it's time to bake these pizzas. So I put the pizzas one by one in the oven. Now, and now We're gonna bake this for 20 minutes. Now, the pizzas are now baking. After 20 minutes, we're gonna remove these pizzas from the oven. Now my pizzas are cooked. I just transferred them to a plate, and that's pretty much it. This is how you make white sauce pizza from scratch in your home kitchen. If you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button down below. To not miss out any of my future videos, don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notifications bell. Well, that's it for this video. See you next time.